Hey guys, welcome back to Etheria Restart. In today's video, I want to have a talk about the banners and my feeling around what I'm going to do at global launch with summoning on the banners, because I think we are about we just started day 5 on this new account that I've been grinding over on the test server. Once again, they could do a balance patch that will change things. Gotta wait and see, but I'm just trying to get a good feel for it. And I want to go through the amount of summons we actually get when not using gems on summons, because it's quite ridiculous. And I want to talk about why I'm probably going to be completely skipping, at least for early days, Freya's banner, and also skipping the targeted summon banner. Now, the first thing I want to show you guys is, once again, we're on day 5. We've just entered day 5, but keep in mind, I haven't been grinding this like I normally would. I'm account level 30, which I think I was there on day 2 or 3 of my my beta account. It's basically because this only has a PC client, and I don't grind games unless I can do them on my phone. You can see I'm overcapped on stamina because just before the daily reset, I bought out all the gem stamina so that I could burn it over time. It is what it is, but I do get a good feel of it, and I have been doing basically almost no pulled units for progression, because I want to show you guys that. But let's first take a look at the summons, like I mentioned, and talk about why I am probably going to be just skipping the beginner banner or the select banner, and also Freya's banner. So if we go over into the achievements, I think it's in development. Summon animas. So you can see I have summoned in this achievement here 257 times. That is a lot of summons in about 4 days. Within your first 2 days, you're probably going to do 150 or so summons. And keeping in mind, on the standard banner, we have the soft pity. So the standard banner soft pity is 50. Now, you're not guaranteed, but it is much easier to get them. On the rate up, for both of these, obviously, it is going to get dropped to 80, but you don't have that soft pity. Now, Freya's banner is one I may come to later on. Now, the banner does have 3 amazing SRs with Chiaki, Kraken, and Dinah. So those, if I don't have those after a while, I may come here, do a couple pulls to try and get them. Also, I think putting a couple pulls into Freya's banner is not a bad idea to see if you get her early, but that is going to be dependent on if the pity carries over, which we still have not had confirmed because it's not in the rules, so we've got to wait and see. Hopefully they confirm that for us at some stage, or confirm or deny. I couldn't imagine it not being a thing, but let's just cross our fingers that pity carrying over is a thing. So there's that. As for the targeted summon, what I wanted to do was do this playthrough where if we look at my characters once again, you can see the main team that I'm using is Grey. Lian is there for areas where we have, basically where we have red enemies, because at least she's neutral for that. But we're basically using Grey, Sanya, number 41. And then for our Doki team, we're using Kaz, and we're also using Asu. Asu? Anyway, we're using this bloke, dude. I have no idea how to say his name, but I was just trying to use only free units besides Sanya. The game sucks without Sanya unless you pull another healer, which I did pull a Mia, which we'll talk about in a sec. But yeah, I've been trying to progress through, and I'm pretty happy with it. I'll show you more progression using free units, because I wanted to like think about it in like worst case scenario. Obviously, worst case scenario is you don't even pull Sanya, and then it's just like rip. But then you should have other things you can use, because once again, with those 200 and what did I say, 260 or so summons, you can see that I've actually managed to pull 5 SSRs. Now, I don't think that's crazy, like it's decent rates, but when you look at the soft pity at 50, you know, it's kind of about there-ish of what you could expect. You get 1 really early, you get 1 or 2 maybe a bit closer to that 70 or 80 mark of the hard pity, and that's pretty much on average with what people would get. And this is what I wanted to show, and I'll show you guys in the banner in a minute, but there is so many good characters on the standard banner that pretty much any one of them will heavily impact your account. There's a few that I think won't impact your account in the early game, but there's so many of them that are so strong that can get you set up. For instance, if I built Lilith, I'm absolutely set. Fantastic for Doki. Kloss, fantastic for Doki. Tsukiyomi, fantastic absolutely everywhere in my opinion. Mia, another healer, not good in Doki because of element, but still would be enough at this stage until we get to Inferno. And Shadow Sanya, I mean, I could build a poison team around her. However, I don't have Obol yet. So once again, these are all fantastic, decent units that would really change my account. Once again, I'm trying to push as far as I can without them. Currently, let me just restart this, play again. If we look at it, you can see that I have cleared Doki Nightmare 3. That is on auto farm now. It took me a little while. This playthrough definitely harder than my Tiamat playthrough. I've had to build like proper sets on more characters, but you can still get through it. Obviously waiting for level 35 now to unlock that hell mode to see how we go there. And then if we go back over into the shells, I did actually have to build the Victor just for this nightmare stage of Whitney, because we just couldn't get through Whitney with all the green that we had on the squad. So we actually had to use this team. That is the one exception, like this, because I don't even need to farm Whitney. It's just a stepping stone to get to the next one. And it really kind of sucked. But what I want to show you guys over here is when I talk about those summons, if we go to probabilities here and we look at the standard banner units, when you look at pulling one of these units, Ramoka completely changes the way you can farm, Doki. So Ramoka, fantastic for Doki. Rahu, fantastic for Doki. Great for Guild Boss. Dude is an absolute monster everywhere, PvP. Kloss, absolutely fantastic debuffer. Lilith, as I mentioned, great for Doki as well. Freya's, I mean, if you pull a Freya on this, like, she's just going to be a solid all-round unit as well. Selene's, I'm unsure on. I need to work out how her passive goes, but her shield, I don't know if it'll be enough to really save you through Doki. Have to wait and see. Maybe the reflect damage is enough. I haven't done enough testing, so she was one that I would say not as excited to pull if I pulled her right now, but once again, I need to do more testing. Born, fantastic. The dude is just so chunky and big damage, which is fantastic. Rosa, one of the best single target damage dealers. Tiamat, obviously, I love Tiamat, would be a fantastic pull. Tsukiyomi, the way she can boost a character, her basic attack boosting your DPS by 25% every time. Like, she's fantastic. Jada is looking really good in endgame type AoE fights, but she wouldn't be a great pull early on. So that's two that wouldn't be a great pull. Now, Ling Luo, she would be an annoying pull because you don't need her this early because you get her after 7 days. But if you did pull her and you got her early on, she's going to change your account. Hellkid, fantastic for changing your account. Obviously, AoE attack break, the big shields. Dude's pretty amazing. Bayonton, huge. Attack buff, crit damage buff, turn advance, revives, big. Veronica, honestly, one I probably wouldn't want to see, and same with Chloros. And once again, Mia is pretty decent as well as another healing option. So out of all these guys, taking out Ling Luo, because even though you don't want to see her, if you do pull her, she's going to be very beneficial for progressing your account. There's only Veronica, Veronica could have her uses, but I just don't get excited about that. But basically, I only mentioned 4 out of 17 that I wouldn't be super excited to see. Everything else I'm pretty excited to see, so you'd have to get super bad luck to hit those 4 every time in your first like 3 to 5 SSRs. And if you're rerolling, you should have something else decent as well. And keeping in mind, by the time you hit 5 on average, or by the time you hit 4 on average, you should have one of these guys too, which are all amazing. Sanya's a bit more niche. Doki's a bit not as great in the early game, but Heinrich, Lily, and Messiah, all fantastic units across the board. So that is why I definitely think when Global comes, especially considering I will be rerolling, and I'll be rerolling for Lily, but if I get a Heinrich account, I'll grind that up as well. And then I'll keep rerolling and I'll grind up 2 to 3 accounts and we'll see which one's the best. But especially if you're rerolling, you should have a decent start at least so that you can avoid using that targeted summon. And then the targeted summon for me is going to come much later on when we start looking to, what have I pulled? What do I need to fill out? But also, I would like to, around this point, around that 250 to 300 summons tops, I would like to start saving summons as well. But the other thing you have to consider is, what have you pulled? So if we go over to my archive here, you can see on this account, we're still missing a bunch of key 4 stars. We are missing the Marvel. Dude is absolutely vital for a lot of things. Ditting is fantastic DPS, but we've got Victor, so having either one of those is pretty solid. And then I just pulled the Diner, which was clutch. Obol, but don't really need him, so I'd be pretty fine. But the one big thing that I'm missing is the Marvel. So you've also got to consider all the SR units that you're missing, and whether you need to go ahead and try and pick them up as well. But once again, my plan, definitely at launch is to be avoiding my target summon and the Freya banner early on. Once again, Freya, maybe I'll do like 20 into it to see if I get her early. But besides that, I just think the permanent summon has so much value and it can really build your account. And I think you can progress with just about anything. Once again, I will keep progressing with this account. I'm kind of just in the XP farming stage while I wait for level 35 so that we can get into the higher stages of hell and start farming some of the mythic gear. And then also 35 is when we unlock the Nico over in the shells, which means we'll be able to start farming some mythic gear over mythic shells over there as well. So that's kind of what I'm waiting for. I'm going to keep testing this account out until launch. Once again, just trying to use mainly those free units because if we go over to my Doki team, actually we better make sure he's got gear. Nope. So his gear, he steals it off of. No, where's he? He's there. He steals a bunch off of Leon. So, you know, I'm having to play the shuffle game. But if we go over here into the Doki, I can give you guys a bit of a look at how this works. Now, you know, he's not the craziest guy. Once again, I was just trying to use free units, so I didn't want to delve into any of my SSRs or my SRs that I've pulled. And the one thing about Kaz is you can get her from the select chest. So that's why I've been using her. You can get her or Turandot. Both are great. I would wait and pull one. And then select the other one. So those are the two SRs that I've been using frequently as well because she's too good. She's got CC. Old mate over here, the R unit, he's got silence. So, you know, a couple forms of CC to break the damage mitigation. But let's just jump in. I'll show you guys how this basically works. My speed tuning's not anything good either, so we're a bit out on the speed tuning. Gray is my only 6-star so far. I just made him 6-star because, you know, the damage is pretty clutch, so... But yeah, our speed tuning's a bit out, but there you go. You can see there we get a couple silences. Now, there's only one guy that we haven't controlled, or is it two of them? No, it's only one guy in middle left that we haven't controlled yet, but we're pretty good. You can see this goes pretty well in general. And yeah, like I said, I feel like this is a pretty good progression team. Not having Marvel, though, is going to be absolute pain when we start going into, especially into Inferno modes and stuff like that. So I think he's going to be like a must pick up at some stage, somehow. He's going to be incredibly vital. But yeah, this is the kind of, you know, budget-friendly team that I'm cooking up. Once again, we'll have to see how it goes into higher difficulties. I am missing a lot of key things in it, but you know, we got the attack up, we got the def shred, we got two controllers, and yeah, you know, we're trying to piece it together. So let's see how it goes. We'll jump into the next wave. But yeah, Sanya is just so hard to drop from a team. I don't know how. Oh, dude, nothing worse than that. Nothing worse than that. Wasting the def break just there. All right. So and that's the big issue with Doki, especially when you don't have all your skill ups. So Gray is the only one I've got skilled up. So you can see she goes down. I think we're pretty close to having the revive back though, which will be fine. So there we go. We get a couple silences there, I think. Only three. Okay, not too bad. Okay, we've got to wait for Kaz because Kaz is going to be the big one. She did have her her CC back up next. So let's see if this comes back. Let's get some damage in, hopefully kill one. Oh, so close. So close. No, we need this Kaz to come back. Where's the revive? Once again, I got no skill ups into my Sanya. The only thing I skilled up was Gray to max. Max on his skill 2 and skill 3, just so he's got the 3-turn rotation. Or the 3-turn cooldown, which is a 2-turn rotation, essentially. So let's see how this goes. Boom. Alright, where's my Kaz AoE? Where's the big Kaz AoE? Bro, he's just slapping her so hard. That sucks. Oh yeah, and if I was doing this on auto, I would have auto target on the big guy in the middle, because you really want to focus him down early. Otherwise, he starts to snowball way too hard. But let's see how this goes. We might get through it unless he one-taps everyone. Oh, we just lived. Not too bad, not too bad. Okay, we got the silence, which means now we can deal damage with our Gray, which is good. That's where having the second source of control is pretty nice. He gets the life steal on that, but there you go. Like, that was a pretty scuffed run. We still managed to get it down. So that's the kind of things I'm looking at. Once again, this is me trying to piece together something that even if you have really bad luck and you don't feel like you've pulled all the worst units, well, reroll for one, but at least this is like a sort of thing to prove that we are going to be able to sort of progress through the early game. Once again, I got to get into Hells and see how this goes. I think we're going to struggle a little bit in Hell, but at least it should get you through that early game until you do about, 270 summons. And if your accounts are really bricked after 270 summons, well, the account's cursed and you sometimes just got to move on. But hey, that's it. Once again, my plan over here is to just hold out on the targeted summon and Freya as long as possible. I think there's just so much good value in the standard banner, which is crazy to say in a game these days, but the standard banner really is just huge value. But anyway, guys, that is going to be it for this one. As always, thanks for watching. I hope you have an awesome day and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.